There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Okay. There's burning in my rectum.
I just laughed every time she said that. All right, that's Marcus. I am Ben. With us, as always, we got this jolly young fella to my left.
There's burning in my rectum.
He
turned me over and he showed my rectum.
Oh,
and then
goodness.
he put there was a burning. A burning in my rectum.
Did you make a sound?
I'm Jenny Hill, survivor of satanic ritual abuse.
That's right. And satanic ritual abuse is our main subject of the day. First question out to you, Hong Kong Henry Zabrowski. What is satanic ritual abuse?
Man, oh, miggity, man.
Hello.
Check it out. This
How are ya?
episode is going to be chock full of some of my favorite fucking bullshit. Right? This
I
is
can
a
imagine
massive
this is in your top 10 of favorite things of all time.
Absolutely. Marcus and I have been planning for this episode for a long time. Again, we're doing a two-parter.
Yeah.
As you'll see, there's a lot of information. This is one of the grand conspiracies and occult schooling out there. It's the idea of children. It started in the 80s, basically, like where these repressed memories started coming to the surface of children being the part of very ornate sexual rituals involving satanic groups, and apparently it's affected 4 generations that are slowly but yet surely being turned into Satan's unholy army,
right,
over the last 4 generations,
and
which is just sign me up, you know. But I don't get there again because I wasn't chosen to be molested.
That's right. No, you were too chubby as a child. Satan seems to get a lot of his answers through the rectum of children, which is interesting. Do you guys know any
burning?
It burns.
There was a burning in my rectum.
I mean, you just got hemorrhoids. You got a bad case of the poo-poos.
I know. I got the same problem. Yeah,
exactly.
But no one ever wants to look at my rectum.
No one, not even a doctor.
No.
What are some of the names of
I don't
these,
have insurance. So.
That's right. That's sad. Blame Obama for that. What are some of the names of these groups? Do we have any specific names?
That's one of the things about it is that in the actual court cases, there were never any names that were put forth.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain groups, you know, like they
in the in Henry's world, there are certain groups.
Well, the Luciferians, right, which are harmless.
Yeah.
The Anton-LaVeyans, which are harmless. And then they say you got the old dudes. The old dudes were the lizards that started the Nazis. Where that came from.
So it's
called
back.
the Black Flame.
Yeah.
The Black Flame. So the Black
the Masons
Flame.
are also involved.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're also Christian.
Yeah.
But then we also learned that the Christian and satanic ritual abuse can be one and the same.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's also rumors that the Masons are just undercover Jews.
Think about
yikes.
that.
That's the one thing, again, when researching this topic, you really do get into a bunch of anti-Zionists like talk.
When researching every topic, you get into a bunch of anti-Zionist talk. It just always comes back. There's that one website that's just like, undercover Jews, dude.
Undercover
Found
Jews. It was a Jew with the horn hat on. I saw him.
Figured it
I
out.
put it on
he
him.
put the burning in my rectum.
So what was the point of burning these children's rectums for these satanic ritual abuses? What were they trying to do?
Chaos rage.
Just chaos rage? Just
Yes.
a good Saturday night? Nothing major? No.
Well, they say that the overall, again, very complicated, but the overall goal of these groups is to bring about the apocalypse, is to end the good times, is to help lower the population in order, as a part of the NWO, in order to make a more controllable society, then create a one world government, one world healthcare system, Obama.
Think about
Right?
it.
Take our guns away. They're coming for our guns.
So what do you think Barack Obama is? Do you think he's an anti-LaVey follower? Do you think he's what was the name of the first group that you mentioned?
Was
Luciferians.
The Luciferians?
I think that he was an egg from one of the first popes.
Okay.
Yeah, that shat it. He shat an egg out into a bog.
Is that how
Right?
popes procreate?
Yeah, so that's how they make more presidents and popes and chancellors and pop stars.
So they're not live
they're
births,
pop
egg
stars.
births.
You ever seen Top of the Pops?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a Sheena
Okay.
or a Christina. Where was another one of these like one word, one name lady pop stars?
Madonna.
Pink. Roxanne.
Pink.
Is Roxanne one?
Could be. Tina.
Tina was one. That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that was a Kids in the Hall sketch.
Oh, okay.
But it was still very
I was
funny.
thinking Tina Turner, but I think that
Jennifer Hawkeye Jones.
Oh yeah, she was amazing. So they just did these exercises for no major purpose.
Well, they were also. It's also said that they were done for the purpose of a black mass.
Yes.
That these are a lot of the people in the actual because this shit was real as far as
Something
it
was happening.
It was real as far as people being convicted and having their lives destroyed. As far as the bizarre satanic abuse that was claimed, no. Not real.
Or
at
God,
all.
or God knows. And who knows? Who knows?
Really, from what my research has told me, just from what reading about the secular views of these cases and from the Christian views of these cases, it seems like what was happening is that yes, there were molestation cases, but because of the overall panic of Satanism in America in the 80s and 90s, anytime there was an abuse case, bam, people just tack Satan onto it. They're like, all right, these kids are being abused. Obviously, they will, Satan was involved, and they would start leading them into it. We'll get into how they convicted these cases later on.
I'm going to attack your viewpoint with the words of Russ Dizdar of ShatterTheDarkness.net. Now, Russ Dizdar has become a character on this podcast because he's go to ShatterTheDarkness.net. I'm just going to put it up on the Facebook page. You've got to look at his website. It's a bit disorganized, but
yeah, you could argue he's a bit of a scatterbrain.
But if you don't remember, Russ Dizdar, former rock and roller, party guy, found the light and grace of Jesus Christ, and now he fights demons for money and profit. It also works as a chaplain for the police as well. Yes. He says that according to his numbers, he's expecting roughly every year in America there's over 15 million cases of satanic ritual abuse.
15 million.
And that's what he said. He said 15 million. And he's just like, yeah. So you look at those numbers, right? You look at those numbers, 15 million. Someone's making 15 million victims. So we're looking at, and I'm not even, some of these numbers are going to boggle your mind, George.
It's almost like they make no sense.
No, but I'm going to say upwards of, literally, he did say this, we're looking at 45 million Satanists.
So like 1/5 of the American population is
a card-carrying, molestation ring, fucking sword-bearing Satanist.
Wow.
Making burning in my rectum.
Burning in my rectum. Put a marshmallow over it. Get a good butt s'more going. That would be pretty tasty. So how did Russ Dizdar come to these numbers? Does he show his mathematical equation, or you just trust the numbers?
People come to him all over this great nation with cases barring from, my girlfriend won't eat the pudding she loves, to I'm a murderer, help me get the demons out of me. So he knows.
Okay, so what are some of the roots of satanic ritual abuse?
Well, first of all, let's define it. And this, by the way, is
Henry has been defining it.
No.
Is there a definition?
There's a really
for
good
it?
definition.
Oh,
this is actual. This
Okay.
is law. This is American
Give
law.
us the
because from what Henry, it's like it sounds like it's this crazy, wacky conspiracy. Like this has very real
just that
roots in the real world.
Absolutely. Okay. It's just the conspiracy is very insane because there was that satanic panic going on in the 80s.
Yeah.
Ooh, Satanic Panic is a great name for a punk band. Yeah.
It's like, imagine all of the wacky shit that Henry talks about on this show. Imagine the entire country believes it for a decade.
That would be amazing. That's the 80s.
That's how we
glam rock.
Yeah,
do you ever remember the HBO had a great documentary on Satanism? Because I just remember this guy it was like showing heavy metal concerts and it was just some dude banging on a drum going, "Do you want total war? Do you want total war?"
Yes,
it's great. I got to find that track and I got to listen to it.
So this is the log line for satanic ritual abuse. If you were going to pitch it to IFC, this is what you would tell them.
All right. This is the Idaho Ritual Abuse Law of 1990. It is 1. A person is guilty of a felony when he commits any of the following acts with, upon, or in the presence of a child as part of a ceremony, rite, or any similar observance.
Super Bowl party.
Yeah, you can't do it.
A. Actually or in simulation, tortures, mutilates, or sacrifices any warm-blooded animal or human being.
What do you mean? You can't even pretend like you're torturing it?
No.
But you can kill a snake.
Or a frog.
What about movies?
You can do whatever you want to fish.
Yes. B. Forces injection, or other application of any narcotic, drug, hallucinogen, or anesthetic for the purpose of dulling sensitivity, cognition, recollection of, or resistance to any criminal activity.
Do you mean what I do every night?
This seems like some district attorney overreach right here. These are felonies? Come on.
C. Forces ingestion or external application of human or animal urine, feces, flesh, blood, bones, body secretion, non-prescribed drugs, or chemical compounds.
That's been a problem.
Yeah, non-prescribed drugs. I love that that's on there.
D.
It's like, well, did he have a prescription for Ritalin? Well, you gave it to him, didn't you? Well, you might as well just take a dump in his mouth.
D. Involves the child in a mock, unauthorized, or unlawful marriage ceremony with another person or representation of any force or deity, followed by sexual contact
Man,
with
with
the
all this
child.
bullshit going on, what am I going to do this weekend?
That's the thing. And I feel like what if you just want to participate in some fun theater? I mean, this is really a very strict law here.
Actually, you know what? I'm really glad. I'm glad. Let's stop having children get married to each other. I hate it when kids play husband and wife. I hate it. You know what I mean? Or their boyfriend and girlfriend. When you say, "Ooh, is that your boyfriend?" and stuff like, no, she's 5. All right, she doesn't
Yeah,
have a
but you have
boyfriend. No one's trying to fuck her right now.
Well, people are. You have to protect your
I know
your
that.
5-year-olds.
I know that for a fact.
Well, it's an unlawful marriage ceremony with another person or representation of any force or deity. So a lot of these children were being married to Satan.
Yes,
very
that's true.
cool,
When they
though.
turned
Yes.
13, that was the idea. The chosen ones would be when they hit 13, they would be married to Satan.
Were there only girls getting married to Satan, or did they allow gay marriage
Only
to
girls.
Satan?
Yeah.
Only girls. So we were out.
Satan
Damn
was
it.
a dude.
I know, but
Yeah.
I thought they would be a little bit more liberal-minded and let a 13-year-old
Absolutely
boy
not. It
marry
was
Satan
very
as well.
heteronormative.
God damn it.
E. Places a living child into a coffin or open grave containing a human corpse or remains.
Man, they're really spitballing in this room here. Really spitballing.
This is some creepy law writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, have you just done that? Did you just? Is that how'd you?
No. I'm just trying to think of the creepiest
Like
thing
what
that I
they
can
would
think
do.
of. All right, we'll not suck on the eyeballs of a recently dead horse.
Well,
F. Threatens death or serious harm to a child, his parents, family, friends, pets, and which instills a well-founded fear in the child that the threat will be carried out. That's a big one.
every parent is guilty of that. There is
Well,
not
not
a parent-
murdering.
No, of threatening to kill their child.
Yeah.
To the point where their child
You
is
see,
actually scared.
You had a different childhood.
Yeah. See, you had the Christian life.
You were like the story of Moses, except if instead of just dropping it in a lake and being found, him
I just,
becoming
like,
king and
drowned.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, sad. And then I came up from the river life. And
like Swamp Thing.
like Swamp Thing or Jason Voorhees. And I've been tormenting humanity ever since.
And finally, G. Unlawfully dissects, mutilates, or incinerates a human corpse.
Yeah,
Can't
that's a
do
big
it.
one too.
Yes,
That's
this is actually on the books in Idaho, and 3 other U.S. states have similar laws, including California, which we will see in when we start going through the cases, where a large amount of the cases were tried and convicted.
I don't like
It's-
that last one, though.
It's really very interesting because this stuff is happening. That this sort of abuse is happening, like group abuse. We've seen it before. We were saying with the Franklin Credit Union scandal, which we'll go into later on. Like it's very
but it
true.
is-
What's going on in the UK?
Yeah.
I forget which channel it was. Is it Channel 4 BBC?
Yeah,
They-
with Ricky Savile.
yeah. It's like this is happening.
But
Whether
you-
or not these
Well, Ricky
these
Savile, that was just a straight pedophile case. You think there was some sort of satanistic agenda?
Well, there are a lot of people that believe that these sort of sexual activities create this is because I do believe in some of these ideas where like they talk about like the Kundalini line in the body and how like in magic ceremony you're
Can you
supposed to
describe-
activate.
What's the Kundalini line?
It's your chakra line that runs through your body, and the most important one's the one in your dick and balls. And that using like in magic ceremony, it's really important to activate your sexual chakra because you get a lot of creative quote unquote power from that, and you can see how you can convince men of power. Because they have been ultimately corrupted, because they have actual power over people, that you can get more of this, you can keep it going. And if you are truly ambitious and are really good at your job and want to stay in power,
That's right.
And then the juiciest fruit is to kill a child while another child fucking watches.
Sure.
Like, you'll do it to stay president.
It's
Barack Obama.
Think about it. That's why I have 5-hour energy drink every morning.
That's what I do.
I keep that energy high. Keep
Flax,
going.
have a banana, have 2 hard-boiled eggs for protein.
Penetrate a child's anus.
Yeah, it's burning my anus.
my anus.
Well, there are some rings, and there are definitely pedophile rings around here, but they're so extremely rare.
Yes,
and
of course.
There's not.
I like to call them clubs. Yeah.
But you know what? Let's go hop into the way back machine, all the way back to the time of Moses and the Bible.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
The way back machine.
Because, of course, a lot of this stuff started with fundamental Christians. I'll get into the roots later on of where all of this shit eventually came from. But there is in the Bible evidence of ritual abuse.
Now, we're talking about Moses as in the human reptilian blood strain that helped form the Illuminati, right?
Yes.
Not the dude Moses. We're talking about the code name for the blood strain.
No, we're talking about the dude.
All right, well then, I'm
you
half
have
checked
nothing.
out,
Yeah. That's fine. It's not reptilian. It's not for Henry.
This is from Leviticus 20, 1 through 5.
Okay.
The Lord said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or any foreigner residing in Israel who sacrifices any of his children to Molech is to be put to death. The members of the community are to stone him. I myself will set my face against him and will cut him off from his people. For by sacrificing his children to Molech, he has defiled my sanctuary and profaned my holy name."
I don't think I can do that today. I got eggs boiling on my desert stove.
If the members of
Just a
the
rock.
If the members of the community close their eyes when that man sacrifices one of his children to Molech, and if they fail to put him to death, I myself will set my face off against him and his family, and will cut them off from their people, together with all who follow him in prostituting themselves to Molech. Now, this was part of the Bible verses that pastors used to read to people during these satanic ritual abuse trials to tell them, like, there is precedence for this. This does happen because
It's
this
so
Molech.
interesting, even though it's like a 6,000-year-old book written
Yeah.
by people trying to subjugate barbarians. But what's also interesting is that, and Molech is a nickname for Set, which is the Egyptian god of death, and Molech was also, ties back the Sumerians, a giant owl god that was and Molech is the name of the statue that exists in Bohemian Grove, where our fucking president, Barack Obama, and his fat cat chums on Wall Street
That's right.
go to Bohemian Grove and they bang kids and they feed
Burning in my rectum.
but they do burn a human effigy at the feet of their Molech statue.
Yeah, and Molech was
Wicker Man.
also the sacrifice, the golden calf and all of that. And there's a whole part in the Bible, like there's some more verses in which they talk about sacrificing children into the flame in the name of Molech.
Oh yeah,
and
wasn't he also the name of that globule character on the He-Man cartoons?
Could be. Something like
no, that was Man at Arms.
Oh, that's right.
And this just gives you some of the names of some of the demons that these children are being sacrificed to. This is from 2 Kings 17:31.
Okay.
The Avites made Nibhaz and Tartak, and the Sepharvites burned their children in the fire as sacrifices to Adramelech and Anamelech, the gods of Sepharvaim.
It's a heart fail.
Yes, I've heard of
yes,
it. He
most
loves
evil.
children.
Yes.
Yes, loves the children.
Sepharvaim.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So Jesus really came out on top on this subject. I
No,
agree
he
with
didn't.
him. Well, he does not want the children
It's
to be
still
burned.
going on though.
So he lost the battle.
Yeah.
But he's still fighting the war, and I think that's so important
Yeah,
to
through the
remember.
hands of Russ Dizdar and his mighty Knights of Jesus under ShatterTheDarkness.net.
That's right. So can we get to some case examples here?
Let's get to some of the roots of it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and of course, the roots to all of this lies in hippies.
Oh yeah.
Stinky hippies.
I'm being serious.
No, of course.
Really? They had all the creative ideas.
And the government made hippies.
think about it.
That is also true because of the MK Ultra experiments. There's a lot of stuff in SRA, as they call it in the biz, that it relates to MK Ultra training, because what I have read, a lot of it were like, you go through your origins. I have my origins in terms of where I've started to believe it may actually come from.
Okay.
But continue.
All right. Well, it started with 60s idealism,
Every time.
Don't like it.
where they started looking at abuse as...
to San Francisco.
There's a burning in my rectum. Well, that's for different reasons. You're actually an old man, and you just had a real rough time on Haight and Ashbury.
Oh, no, you're just sat on a bagel.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It starts at the Arizona Children's Home, which is a home for orphans. This was back in the late 1960s, early 70s, in which all of these hippies were starting to get some sort of like idealism about, we're going to go help the people.
Yeah.
So you had...
gentrify the orphanage.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm done noodle
Very nice.
dancing. It's time for me to do some volunteering.
Yeah, here we go.
And so these people started getting therapist degrees. They started getting psychology degrees, and were going in these middle-class families, were going into these inner-city children's homes and starting to take care of the children. One of them, Kathleen McFarlane, who will become very important later. She saw many horrific cases. She saw kids setting fires. This one kid who wouldn't talk to anyone but the fridge. And
Well, that was Henry and I growing up, too.
Now,
so that's fine.
this is where the first cases of like this idea of ritual abuse came out of.
no. I mean, this is where, I mean, you have to we're getting into the mindset here.
Okay.
Like, because you have to get into, like, the psychology of everything and the mindset to really understand, like, how this shit actually happened.
All right, so what's this hippie psychology that we're spreading these poor youths?
It started with the children's, and so Catherine McFarlane, from working at this place where the children talk to fridges and the girls bounce on counselors' knees because they like to masturbate.
Yo, yeah.
This isn't that bad of a place. This is a pretty fun orphanage, from what I can tell thus far.
Then came CAPTA, the Children's Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, promoted by Walter Mondale. It ignored any relation to poverty, as conservatives would immediately reject it. So they said, like, poverty has absolutely nothing to do with child abuse. It all has to do with physical abuse by the parents. So since the parents were abusing the children, it must be that the parents had been abused when they were kids.
Oh, yeah, so
They
that's
put
where
it-
it kind of comes from, is that it's a cycle.
Exactly. They put it in a medical perspective. They called it battered child syndrome. So they got $20 million in funding.
I just have a kid covered in pancake batter going into a deep fryer.
Yeah.
That's good. That's how I eat my
You know
kid.
who else thinks about that? Molek.
Molek, yes. Deep fry me some children. What if he's just a really fat, he loves deep
Come on
fried
now,
kids
bring
now?
it closer to my beak.
Oh, barbecue. I hate the
Come
barbecue.
on now.
Deep fry that boy for me
Come
now.
on, lay that burly child on my feet so I can eat it with my feet mouth.
Children and waffles for brunch. That'll be very tasty.
So $20 million in funding was giving the CAPTA. And in order for the states to get some of that sweet, sweet CAPTA money, they had to allow therapists, teachers, and school administrators to be able to report abuse. Before this, only the police were able to.
So that means that they had to produce results.
Yeah.
So it's like when therapists made, basically they got police get quotas for tickets. They got a quota for how many abuse cases they basically needed to put up to the government, or they would lose their funding.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And so from then comes from out of the CAPTA and out of the money that was coming in.
You're abused. You're abused. You're abused. Just another Friday.
You got.
Can you imagine that? That's what all your money, your budget counts on children being abused. Like you're like, God. Every time like a
Counselor
normal,
Henry.
adjusted, gifted kid comes in, you're like, this fucking kid. No one wants to fuck
Gonna
this
have
kid.
a successful future.
I'm
This
supposed
is
to make some
bullshit.
money today.
What do you
You're
think all
worth
the future
nothing to me,
college
kids.
Fix this in. You don't want me to work here anymore. I get it. I'm out of here.
You are not even joking. It's exactly how it went. Like, you're nothing to me. Come on, give me something. So from that, out of CAPTA came NCAN, the National Center for Child Abuse and Neglect. They're still focused on physical abuse, not sexual at the very beginning. However, since the physical cases weren't coming up, we have the very first hysteria, which is the incest cases, the incest hysteria of Silicon Valley.
All right, let's hear some of the incest hysteria of Silicon
My
Valley.
computer was playing on the Mac, and then, well, he fingered my rectum.
Burning. Just burning in my rectum.
And now my rectum is on fire with the burning.
I can't focus on my spreadsheets with this
I
burning in
wish
my
there was
rectum.
any sort of ice that would cure the burning in my rectum.
That would be a nice thing someone could invent if this was a very popular fad. The old butt ice. Butt icicle. Slides right in. You'll be cooled
Rectum
down in
coolant.
no time. Rectum coolant.
All right.
That'd be great. Shaquille O'Neal could advertise for it. When I have a burn in my big rectum, I use rectum coolant.
So, if you will remember from earlier, the woman, Catherine McFarland from the Arizona Children's Home, she settled in Silicon Valley and started encouraging people to come forward as far as incest goes. Before people were urged to report this and really became a thing, 1 out of 1 million people per year would report incest. By 1971, 30 per million people per year in Silicon Valley were promoting.
But the numbers, it's going viral. It's
going-
like chocolate
it's
rain.
And this is where a man named Roland Summit comes into play, who plays a very important role in satanic child abuse later. However, Roland Summit, for some reason, when he first came onto the scene, he was very sympathetic to the father molesters, saying that it was the woman's fault.
There was a guy that came out, too, that recently, I forgot his name, he did an AMA on Reddit. He was a real big piece of shit. He came out and basically was saying, he was trying to give relationship advice, and then basically someone asked him about his views on incest, and what he said was,
People talking about incest on Reddit? No.
Yes. No, but it was this guy was like, someone brought up a thing that he had said in an article. I forget his fucking name because I didn't know we were talking about incest, or I would have had my research. That's right. But he was talking about how he's like, you ask the girl victims, the daughter victims of this, and you're going to get a solid 75% say they had a negative experience. But if you talk with the fathers, you're getting a solid 65% saying they had a positive experience. And the gap there has just got to be, that the daughters just don't know what's good for them, and that the fathers are trying to show affection.
He's wrong.
Here's Roland Summit's explanation of it. Not the father's fault. Here's a quote. As a toddler, she merely enchanted her father on the playground. As a teenager, she was learning to transmit the magical vibrations our society requires of
What
the
a
emergent
fucking
woman.
pervert.
She is mercurial, kittenish, provocative, and enigmatic.
Stop it.
That's very hipster. That's exactly
Yeah, what is he? Your
hipsters
kid's
like.
Zoe Deschanel?
And of course,
It's
another
like a little kitty. I love to fuck her.
And it also
Gross.
comes from at this time many more women were starting to go out of the home and were starting to work jobs. So in other words,
So white men were sad.
Yeah,
And had to replace the sadness with something.
exactly.
Old white men are just the worst
They're the
fucking
worst.
pieces of shit.
Well, mom was a neurotic bitch who had a job. So when daddy comes home at the end of the day, daughter's there with a big smile, giving him food. And since
still
mommy
blaming
wasn't
daughter.
fucking daddy, daddy had to fuck daughter.
My rectum is burning. There's burning in my rectum.
And then it just even helps if maybe you do sort of believe it opens a chamber of power to Satan himself, and it's helping you.
Possibly.
It's giving you power and wish-giving abilities.
Yes. And he said that, quote, children never fabricate the kinds of explicit sexual manipulations they divulge in complaints or interrogations. So, in other words,
Well, that makes
and this
sense.
is also the beginning of a movement, like a victims' rights movement.
Because
that
it was also repressed
put-
memories were coming forth, too. That was
repressed
big.
memories comes later.
Okay.
This is the beginning of, like, victims' rights. Like, feminists really got in on this as far as victim rights. Like, always believe the victim, no matter how fucked up, no matter how weird it is.
But
Always
I agree.
believe
But
them.
I honestly, I do believe in it, and I think that that's where it's like it all came from a good place, and it helped a lot of people. But the problem is that you have this outlier people, which is essentially just like these psychiatrists are just a different type of molester. Like they're just like a
Mental
different type
molester.
of villain. They're doing something else because it's for profit. It's got nothing to do with the fucking kids. It's got nothing to do with the kids. It's got to do with the money in your fucking pocket. Again, the same thing in the but at least the one thing you could say about these Satanists is that it's not about the money.
It's like when you go to Disney World and the teacup ride is closed down. And you're like, you don't care about the kids. You don't care about the
It is like that. It is
It's
like
all
that.
about lining your pockets, getting the
It's
kids in
burning
there.
in my rectum. Someone left the teacups out in the sun, and now there's burning in my rectum.
It's an interesting Disney ride.
So all of this led to the creation of the CSATP, the child sex abuse treatment program.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
In which
Number one, stop having sex with them.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Hey,
That
guys.
is number one.
Hey y'all, don't be using these kids as a fleshlight, y'all.
Boom.
Yes, and the creator, Dr. Henry Giarretto, believed that incest arose from poor self-esteem and previous abuse to the perpetrator, and they put molesters in support groups. And
That's what you want to surround them with. Other molesters. That's good.
yeah, they believed that the nuclear family was to the disintegration of the nuclear family was to blame. So the father was kept in the house with the family, and the mother had to apologize to the daughter. This is verbatim what the mother was required to say to the child: "You were not to blame. Daddy and I did not have a good marriage. That is why Daddy turned on you."
Also,
Turned on
Daddy relies on the unseen hand of Moloch. All right, and I'm sorry that you have to be a part of that, but well, you're a chosen one.
Yeah.
And the father had to make a diary of every sexual impulse, maintain perfect attendance at the meetings, and write an autobiography of how his incestuous desires developed and read it to the entire class.
So this is whether or not it is true or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how Penthouse Forums started.
Yeah.
Very, very hot stuff.
And so,
Or Mad Libs.
Man, whichever one.
well, how this eventually led into everything else is that it started this like confession type thing where kids could just throw out any sort of accusation.
Yeah, and they realize what power they have.
These men, in order to not be, specifically in Silicon Valley, like they called it the Godfather offer because it was an offer you couldn't refuse. Before they started doing this, because the men would be allowed to like go to jail at night and work during the day. They would get probation. They wouldn't have their lives destroyed. So children were able to just throw this shit out
If
left
you're a
and
kid,
right.
use this. Get every toy that you want, every comic book you want. I would be making accusations all over town.
Exactly,
Oh, yeah.
because before this,
I mean, the most raped boy in Silicon Valley.
Absolutely.
And
They
wear
would-
a sash that says it, most raped.
They wouldn't believe
Yeah.
you, though. That's what's so sad.
I know.
No, Henry, sorry.
before this,
No one's touching you.
Before this, most men who were accused in Silicon Valley pled innocent. After this, 90% confessed immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
as
they
soon
should have
as-
thrown them off a bridge. If they drowned, they were pedophiles. But if they didn't drown, they were pedophiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then people start. This is also where the interrogation starts breaking down because they started to refuse to interview the daughter. They would just interview the people that the daughter told, secondhand testimony, like a teacher, mother,
Well,
something like
basically,
that,
the
and
whole
then they
thing
would
just
treat that.
escalated out of control.
Yeah, the whole thing escalated.
Well, yeah,
out
if you
of
don't have your
control.
math homework done on Monday, just say you were raped on Sunday, and they're like, okay, you get a pass, have it in on Tuesday.
And then they started using the Florence Nightingale approach. Where like, Daddy is sick. Don't you want to help Daddy? Don't you want to keep Daddy from going to jail?
Yeah.
So they would continually pressure these
Pump
kids,
them for more and
pump
more
them for more and more and confessions and information. And then the government in around like let's see here, around like 1980 or something like this. And also this program saved the government just millions of dollars in prison, trials, all
of
that.
course.
So they loved it. So NCAN received $200,000 to train people in these techniques, and then they blew the dandelion, and the seeds spread all over the United States. So America was ripe for these types of interrogations.
Well, absolutely. And so we're also looking at, these are hard times economically for America
Exactly.
in the early 70s. It's like people are really reaching for anything. The hippies failed to fix anything.
They did?
Yeah.
But they were so organized.
I mean, we got great music out of it.
good music.
All
right.
But
And now we can
ironically, not that good of weed. The
No,
hippies did
really.
not have
Skank
Yeah.
fucking
Real
tie sticks.
skank,
I got
yeah.
some good weed now.
Yeah, bro.
Because doctors make it.
Science
Yeah.
did it.
Because the government took it.
Yeah, because we're little gods.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because now it's time to move on to the culture. What cultural fears led to all of this happening? And it was the hippies being like, cults were a big fear in the 80s. You had the hippies like
Because of
parents-
Manson, you had Manson.
Yep.
It changed everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
had-
you guys know I was born into a cult in North Dakota. It was called Daystar, and I was there. My older brother was 6. My other brother was 4, and I was 2. We left when I was 2. But I was born there, and my parents gave them all the money. And my brother was telling me a story. I'm sorry, it's a little bit off topic.
No.
But at one point, my mother was crying to the leader of Daystar to get some money so we could go get ice cream. and then finally he let us go get some ice cream and stuff. So cult.
He's so nice.
Yeah, he
He's
was
so
so nice.
good.
My parents, the geniuses that they were, gave him all of the cash. But the cult culture back in the 60s and 70s was huge. It was just very, very popular.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also had your Anton LaVey coming up, and
He was just trying to see Bush.
Exactly, but he was getting a lot of national exposure. You also had Hare Krishnas, you had your Moonies,
Who were all over again, by the way. They're all over the place.
all over the place. They keep bothering me when I'm walking down 6th Avenue. It's fucking
Horrible
awful.
song.
It's horrible songs, but it's that kindness that is just, it's not real.
I just don't believe it.
No, they are the ones who are giving these kids burning in their rectums because they're psychopaths.
And then the next question is, why Satanists?
Okay.
And before like 1968, 37% of people in America believed in a literal Satan, as a literal entity. Then 1968 comes. Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah.
1973 comes. Motherfucking Exorcist. Now everyone believes in the devil.
Because he's real.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's over.
I saw him in the movies.
But he's kind and good.
Exorcist happens in 1973. By 1974, well over half of America believes in the devil as a literal entity.
It's almost a War of the Worlds like situation, it seems like. Everyone really just bought The Exorcist hook, line, and sinker, huh?
Well, it was a really well-made movie. You got Max von Sydow.
It's still a movie, but yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the third part of it: fundamentalist Christians, the
Yep.
moral majority of Jerry Falwell, Pat Robertson, the rise of all those guys.
They're
in
like the
1979.
lolcats of beliefs, too. They
Yeah.
just really spread it.
Well, they
they
took
do.
a lot of their beliefs from Pentecostal religions, who was very fire and like they took out all like the goofy theatrical stuff, like talking in tongues, all that shit, and they brought in the fire and brimstone, literal.
They did still
Satan
do the
is here.
talking in tongues, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
did.
But that's just to
but
let
Jerry
loose.
Falwell wasn't doing that in like or Billy Graham and Jerry Falwell weren't doing that in their like gigantic like stadium seatings.
No,
like,
yeah,
that was
they
in
were
the
like
smaller
the Dane
places.
Cooks of religion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The
they
guys
were.
doing all the
Vicious
tongues
circle.
stuff. That's still the alt scene.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So you
No,
got those guys.
It was interesting, though. It's funny you bring that up because I remember saying that I didn't believe in Satan when I was like in maybe like 3rd grade. My father freaked out. He's like, you got to believe in Satan.
Yeah.
You got to believe in Satan. And now
Yeah, because why would you believe in anything else if you weren't scared all the
yeah.
time?
Well, if you believe in God, then you have to believe in Satan, I suppose.
No, it's to make you. It's to give you stakes. Is to
Yeah.
be like, if you don't believe, you're gonna get burning in your rectum.
And then after that, you started getting this hysteria about sexual abuse. And the mass media played such a huge part in all of this because there were these victimologists were starting to get big and starting to do these reports, like really trying to show everyone like how bad shit really is. But the media only reported part of these things because there was one study that said that 54% of women have been sexually abused by the time they were 18. Another one said 62%. However, what the research actually was is that when they said child, they meant between toddler and 18-year-old. And by abuse, they took everything from, say, a 3-year-old being anally raped by their father to a teenager being catcalled by another teenager.
Well, I mean, there are all types of abuse.
What's worse? What's worse? Think about it.
But you see, all this is just so real for me. I just think that in the end, it's like, but what about the good old-fashioned rock and roll power of Satan himself?
Think about it.
You know?
Think about
That's it. You want to talk about the rock and roll power Satan himself? But I mean, there's the missing child panic. Of course, it's like children missing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They said 550,000 kidnappings annually, which if that was true, every single school in America would have a child missing from it.
Right.
So there's all this fear fucking
They just
coming
don't even
about.
know that the
What are
child
we
is
gonna
missing because he's some kind of loser with no friends.
It's possible. How are we going to find all these kids? Let's put his face on milk cartons. All right, that's fine. We'll just do that. We'll end it there. We'll end our investigation with milk.
And then, finally, the words satanic ritual abuse first come into play in America with the best-selling book, Michelle Remembers.
Now, Michelle remembers, and she did remember
Sort of.
quite a bit.
Seemed like it.
Quite
Really
a bit.
seemed like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a first-person account written by this girl, Michelle Smith, who said in 1955, from the age of 6 to 7, she was, let me go through a list here,
Satanic.
tortured in houses, mausoleums, and cemeteries, raped and sodomized with candles, forced to shit on a Bible and a crucifix.
Well, I mean,
that's
I've
a fun
done
one,
that.
though. Yeah, I would just do that as a 6-year-old.
Witnessed babies and adults being butchered. Spent hours naked in a snake-filled cage.
That's just Holden's life.
Yeah, exactly. Holden from the Round Table of Gentlemen.
Having a devil's tail and horns surgically attached to her.
Cool.
Killed a child and made it look like an accident by placing her in a car with a corpse, then deliberately crashing the car. And it went on for an entire year until...
You can see her one-woman show at Coney Island. I'm still fucked.
It went on for an entire year before, as she says, her indomitable Christian faith discouraged the Satanists and they set her free.
And got me a book deal.
Yes, well, the book deal came from Dr. Lawrence Pasder, who 20 years later was the one who is supposedly extracted all these memories from Michelle after she had been, putting them all away. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like, did you ever get a candle shoved up your ass?
Yeah.
Yes, right answer. That's
Did you ever get a candle shoved up your ass? Did you ever get a candle shoved up your ass?
I'm just going to shove a candle up your ass, okay?
Yeah.
And you can say you did. It's not actually lying.
And of course, it's all bullshit. There's no independent verification for any of this. In fact, she is on record as having gone to elementary school in British Columbia, and her fucking picture is in the yearbook.
But did she have a tail?
Did she have a tail? But you can't see because she's sitting down.
Think about that.
Yeah.
They were also fanatical Catholics, and the next year after this, that Pasder presented a paper to the American Psychiatric Association where he coined the term ritual abuse for the very first time, and nobody questioned the validity of this book. Everyone, so it was like, okay,
well, it's because
this is
it's
real.
just so scary, and the idea of downplaying something is so scary that seems like it's got some kind of verification going on. Everyone would jump all over.
And also, we didn't have Oprah. I mean, if this woman would have put, if Oprah would have put in this book into the Book of the Month Club, it would have been like that Stephen Fry situation.
Yeah, what's his
1,000 little
name?
pieces or whatever.
And so-
she would have cracked that code.
And now all over the fucking United States, women are coming out and saying that they were ritually abused. They're going to the media. They're going to their doctors. They're going to the police.
Well, the book deal was their version of a reality television show back then.
It really
Yeah.
was. Yeah, it really was because people could read and write back then.
It was a
yeah, they
different
don't
time.
they don't really have reality television shows of just raped and molested people, do they?
Everything like Dr. Phil.
Molest Mansion.
Molest, yes.
You just have all these victims of molestation living in a mansion
It's
together.
a
Watch
real-
them not have sex.
Yeah, that's-
Watch them fight for no reason.
A lot of tears in that house. A
Yeah.
lot of tears.
And so now we're coming upon what all of these people are saying as far as these children not remembering these things and badgering them into it.
Yeah.
It's all called disassociation theory.
Yeah, DID,
Yeah,
SRA.
Yeah, all of that shit.
But let's
Well, this is what we'll
let's
do.
I mean,
So we're at the point where it's just like I honestly feel like
We
we're
can go
at
into
the-
some case studies for the next episode.
like the next one we'll start by talking about disassociation theory.
But I think we should also talk about. I think you did a good idea of what the
got
news
it.
media wants to think.
Sure.
The real story behind
Yeah.
SRA is, but I think I'm going to drop some knowledge on what the real story is. You know,
All
and
right.
we're talking reptilians
Mm-hmm.
training the Nazis. All right, Lebensborn. Look it up. They do millions of Polish babies stolen from their parents and brought into the Nazi science fucking labs, into the Nazi Epcot, where they went and they were trying to making super soldiers because of Nietzsche's Übermensch idea, and then magic. Then maybe the belief that Hitler could kill millions and millions of people in order to get open up a portal to Molech.
All right. Well,
Okay,
once again,
okay,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Marcus
yeah.
is probably right, but I want your theory to be true, and I'm very, very excited to hear more about it on the next episode.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
I'll
we'll
be
con-
thinking about this for a couple of days.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a great couple of days to be your friend.
a lot of cold silence in the apartment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've also got multiple personality disorder to go through.
Oh yeah,
Some
well, yeah.
other-
It's
yeah.
shatterthedarkness.net.
All right, that's Marcus. I'm Ben. Thank you, Henry.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Hail Geen. I suppose Magusa.
Hey, that's mine.
Installations. That's
All right,
his.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
yours.
Algene.
All right.
Adios, muchachos. Is that
not
a
a
good one?
good
Is that
one.
not
No,
good?
I'm
I'm going to need a new
Figure
one.
it out.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right. Hail yourselves, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey guys, don't get molested or anything, right?
And please, if there's a burning in your rectum, go to the doctor. Just go to the doctor. You were not molested.
I'd been turned over with my rectum in there, and I remember excruciating pain. I mean, I remember being a lot of pain in my rectum. It was hot, painful, excruciating pain that nerves went up your nose, nerve endings. I just remember an excruciating waking up feeling that it just hurt so bad. Oh, this hurt so bad. And I remember those feelings that it hurt.